Good morning. Good morning, class. Good morning, class. You know, once you enter the room, you are to mute your phone. If you don't do that, what I will do is that I will remove you. That's just it. The class rep should take notes. Those that are not in the Zoom room already have directed them to YouTube. So nobody should complain that I cannot enter. You cannot enter. Already, you are in a YouTube. Thank you. Already I've removed 2 people, and that's what I will continue to do. I told you once you enter, you mute your microphone, and those who they can't enter again. Thank you. Okay, good morning once again. Is the governor of economics there?
When I don't start with this on a nonsense matric number, when I dey do attendance, so they don't send on a message at me.
Is the class rep of economics there? I don't know the problem of that guy to sit down. I don't start their matric number. I've removed him. Because I didn't complain that those that are sending matric number, they are doing something negative. So my class is not where you be behaving anyhow. You have to be serious because we have short time. Is the class governor of okay, this person, Khadija Adebayo?
Yes, ma. I'm here. Good morning, ma.
Okay, good morning. So where did we stop? We've looked at the scope of economics, isn't it? I expect you to answer me, Khadija. Okay, you are just checking your notes. You've forgotten.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. I'll check my note and get back to you, ma.
You should have done that before the class. I just want to be sure that we're on the same page. So why were you disturbing me last
Hello, ma. The governor for economics is here, ma.
Okay, Daniel. Where
Yes,
did
ma. We just did the introductory part of the.
Okay.
We did the introductory part of the course.
Okay, I
So
know
that
where we stop. Thank you.
Yeah.
We are moving
Yes.
forward. Thank you. So you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
mute your microphone. Thank you. So as I said earlier, the class is being streamed in a YouTube. So I know that some people, they will have, maybe they will have entered by 7:30, but I said the control, or like what you did for me the other time, that you enter, you didn't allow me to enter. So I said the control, nobody could enter without me starting it. So that's just it. And presently you are 298. So those that cannot enter already, is being streamed online, is the YouTube. So you'll be hearing the same thing. Thank you. So today we want to look at the theory of consumer behavior. The theory of a consumer behavior. Who is a consumer? Who is a consumer? So who wants to tell me? Who is a consumer? Who wants to tell us?
Hello, ma'am. My name is Idris Okoyemi, ma'am.
Okay, yes.
A consumer can be defined as the final user of a product.
Thank you very much. A consumer can be described as the final user of a product. Good. Thank you. So that's just the meaning of a consumer. A consumer. A consumer. Yeah. So anybody that make use of a product, the products that can be consumed, that is edible or not edible, that will satisfy your expectation, such a person is referred to as a consumer. So please, you need to demonstrate, maturity. I've told you, once you enter, mute your microphone. So we are going to read now, since you have known the meaning of who a consumer is. So I will show my slides so that you can see. So can you see my slides? Tosin, can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So the theory we are looking at today is the theory of consumer behavior. And we've known who a consumer is, and then behavior, that is the way you react to prices of goods and services, to things happening in your environment. So that's what we want to look at now, and it's going to be interactive. So The theory of consumer behavior is a system of explanations of how economic units, that is I and you, we are individual, how we react to things that are happening in our environment. That's the meaning of a theory of consumer behavior. The way consumer, individual, I and you, we react to things happening in our environment. It deals with their reaction to what they consume. Well, maybe when you consume a Coca-Cola, are you satisfied? Or when you consume a bottle of table water, are you satisfied? So that's just the theory of consumer behavior. It explains the following: factors affecting how much of a product consumers wish to buy. Factors affecting how much of a product producers sell. How consumer and producers interact to determine the market price. So under the theory of consumer behavior, it shows us how consumer they react to prices of goods. So if the price goes up, will they buy more or less? And also the producers, manufacturers, if price goes up or down, will they produce more or not? And then bringing the two of them together to be able to bring about equilibrium. Equilibrium is a state of peace, rest in the market. So, and when we are talking of the theory of consumer behavior, what we refer to is a theory of a utility. You know, theory of consumer behavior, that one is anybody, you understand it, layman. But when we talk of utility, so utility is the same as behavior of consumers. So theory of utility. Please, if you have any question, just use the e-hand. Don't talk, use the e-hand. I will call you. Utility refers to the satisfaction a consumer derives from the consumption of particular goods and services in a given period. Please don't ask me questions that are not related to what we are saying. Don't ask me questions. Some people they cannot enter. Anybody that is interested in this class, if you cannot be in the Zoom room, automatically you are be directed to YouTube. So don't ask me any question about that. Question about what we are taking today. That's the question. So Obioma, if your question is not related to what we are saying today, lower your hand. So utility is a subjective concept because it depends on how a consumer feels it. What do we understand by that? That utility means satisfaction, refer to satisfaction. When you consume, you take a particular good. Do you enjoy it? Are you satisfied? So that's the meaning of a utility. That is the satisfaction that a consumer derives after consuming a particular good or service in a given period of time. Then we say that utility is subjective. It's a subjective concept. What does it mean? Now, if I take water, the satisfaction I derive will be quite different from the one of a Tosin Daniel. So that's the meaning of subjective. And this one now is, you know, you are going to is MCQ question. So you may say that utility is a dash concept, objective, subjective, ordinary, superordinary. Which one is the answer? The answer is subjective. Because the satisfaction I derive from consumption of a table water is quite different from the one of Daniel. If you give me cold water now, I won't take it. So, but Daniel can consume 10 bottles of cold water. So you can, that's the meaning of subjective. If you give me Coke now, I will not even collect from you because I don't take. So it's subjective. But Khadija can take 20 bottles within an hour. So that's the meaning of subjective. So concept of utility. We want to look at some concepts under utility. Number one, total utility. It is the overall satisfaction, total, or pleasure derived from the consumption of various quantities of an economic good per unit of time. It can be represented in the total utility curve. So when we say total utility, is the total, like maybe by 7 a.m. this morning, Khadija has consumed 2 bottles of Coke. By 8 o'clock, she has consumed 4 bottles. So the satisfaction she derived from the one of 7 a.m. and that of 8 a.m., we add them together. That's the meaning of total utility. Marginal utility refers to the extra satisfaction derived by consuming an additional use of any commodity. So when we say marginal means that when you consume extra, like Khadija consumed 2 by 7 a.m. and by 8 a.m. she consumed 4. So if we look at it, you know she cannot consume the 4 together at a time. She has to take number 1 and drop the bottle before taking another one. So that extra, that first one now, is what we refer to as a marginal utility. That is extra satisfaction. Extra satisfaction. The law of diminishing marginal utility. The law of diminishing marginal utility. A consumer has diminishing marginal utility from a good if each extra unit consumed, holding constant consumption for other goods has successively led to total utility. When we say diminishing means decreasing, declining, reduction. That's the meaning of diminishing. So what this one, the law of diminishing marginal utility, is saying that the more of a good you consume, the less your satisfaction. The less your satisfaction. For instance, when Daniel is a thirsty, maybe he had just come out from the Unilag Sports Center and is very thirsty. And he said, I need water. The first bottle he consumed, in fact, he may finish everything at a go. You now see that the satisfaction will be very high. But when he asks for second one, the satisfaction he will get from that second one will be less because that first one has satisfied him to a certain level. So that's the meaning of diminishing, that the more of a good that you consume, the lesser your marginal utility. So as you are consuming more, your marginal utility is decreasing. You know, the meaning of marginal is the extra. So the more of a particular good you are consuming, the lesser will be the extra satisfaction you are getting from it. Concept 4, consumer's equilibrium. Consumer's equilibrium is a condition for maximizing their total utility. Now pay attention. Suppose an individual consumes 2 goods, X and Y, and also wishes to spend all his income on these goods and the market prices of these goods are given. His allocation must be made so that the marginal utility derived from each commodity is proportional to their prices, such that, now, what do we mean by consumer's equilibrium? Under consumer equilibrium, we assume that you want to consume at least 2 goods. 2 goods. Okay, Gala and Coca-Cola. Gala and Coca-Cola. The price of Gala is maybe 200 naira. The price of Coca-Cola is 500 naira. So what consumer equilibrium is saying is that the marginal utility of Gala subject to the price of Gala equals the marginal utility of Coca-Cola subject to the price of Coca-Cola. That is the meaning of that. I believe you can see my cursor. So this is how to get it. What you need to know is just to know this one. By the time you get to 200 level, the mathematical will be brought in, whereby you'll be able to differentiate it. I don't know whether presently you are doing mathematics calculus. So, but for the sake of exam, just know this one. You don't need, nobody will at your level, nobody will ask you that you should find the calculation, but just know this one. So, generally, the equilibrium condition of the consumer can be stated as this one. Khadija, are you seeing my cursor? Daniel, are you seeing my cursor?
Yes, ma. Yes,
Okay.
ma.
So what we are saying now is that the marginal utility of Coca-Cola over the price of Coca-Cola is the same thing as the marginal utility of Gala. subject to the price of gala is even equal to all other products you consume. So how do we measure utility? How do we measure utility? You know, in economy, we say that ceteris paribus, all things being equal. That is what is happening in our environment. We assume that normal thing. So measurement of satisfaction. How can we measure satisfaction? Can I take Daniel now to econometry lab when I'm not I'm not a medical doctor to use stethoscope to know? So, but in economy we measure a satisfaction. So two approaches. Number one, cardinal utility approach. Number two, ordinal utility approach. So how many approaches now? Two. One, cardinal utility approach. Two, ordinal utility approach. So we take them one by one. For cardinal utility approach, under cardinal ranking, a specific quantity of utils. This utils, it means utility, that is measure of satisfaction, is assigned to each alternative good and service. Then what are the assumptions? Pay attention. The assumptions of cardinal utility approach. Number one, rationality. Ceteris paribus. We assume that as a consumer, that you behave rationally. Behave rationally means that you want to maximize. You want your satisfaction to be very high. That's the meaning of rationality. That's why people say outside that irrational behavior, that those insane people, they behave irrationally. But we assume, ceteris paribus, that you are a rational human being, so that you want your satisfaction to be high. Number two, cardinality. This one assumes that your satisfaction is measurable. Maybe you use tailor, fashion designer, they use tape proof to measure you, isn't it? So this one say that utility, the satisfaction, that you can measure it, you can quantify it. Then another one is a constant marginal utility of money. That is the extra satisfaction you get from money that is constant. But by the time we go to this thing, critiques, you see that marginal utility of money is not constant. The more money you want, the more money you have, the more you want. If not, why is it that a billionaire, they are not satisfied with what they have? They want more. So constant marginal utility of money is not constant. Then diminishing marginal utility. That is, the more of a good you consume, the lesser the satisfaction you derive. Now, critiques, that is criticism of the cardinal approach. That is, in real sense, in real life, cardinal approach, is it tenable? Is it tenable in real life? So there are these basic weaknesses in the cardinalist approach. They are, number one, the assumption of cardinal utility theory are unrealistic. Which one is telling us now that you cannot measure it? How can you cannot measure it? Like a Daniel now consume 10 bottles of table water. How can I measure it? How can I know that the utility is 100? So that's what it's saying. So then it means that all those three assumptions, they are not tenable in real life. Then number three, the assumption of constant utility of money is unrealistic, because as income increases, the marginal utility of money changes. Yes, that's why you see the rich people, yes, the more they have, the more they are looking for. And when their income increases, they buy more. But the poor, that they do not have more, these things, they continue in their state. So we want to look at the differences between total utility and marginal utility. Marginal utility measures the change in satisfaction from consuming one additional unit, one extra unit. Total utility instead measures the total amount of satisfaction one gets from all the units consumed of a good or service. So marginal utility affects total utility. When we get to the table, you will understand it better. So, well, now look at where my cursor is hypothetical. The word hypothetical means that it's an assumption, not that the thing is happening. But just to make sure that you understand what we are saying. Are you with me now? So we are looking at the differences between. We have not gotten to the second approach of a utility. So hypothetical calculation of total and marginal utility. Now, please, I want you to pay attention. This is when Daniel consumes 1 bottle of a cold table water. The total utility is 85. Then the marginal utility, you are looking at the differences between them now. The marginal utility is also 85. Now, let's come to this side. When he consumed another extra one, making 2 now, the total utility is 164. Then the marginal utility is 79. Now, the question you want to ask me now is that how did I get 79? How did I get 79? I got 79 by subtracting 85 from 164. So you can use your calculator to check whether I'm correct or not. 164 minus 85, you have 79. Quickly calculate it at your end. 164 minus 85, we have 79. So, and Daniel goes further to consume extra one again. So then how did we get marginal utility? Marginal utility here, use your calculator to get it. It's a 237 minus 164. So we get 73. 237 minus 164, we get 73. Daniel, is it correct or is not correct? Khadija, is it correct or is not correct?
It is correct, ma. I just calculated it.
Okay. This Eukarya, is it correct or is not correct?
It's correct, ma.
Okay, thank you. Lower your hand. So now let's
go the same thing. Is it the same thing you did for 85 minus?
Yes, it's the same
85 minus
It's the same
79.
thing. It's the same thing. Now let's
Okay, ma. Ma, please, I want to ask a question. This is Eukarya.
What's your
Ma,
question?
how did you get the 164?
How did I get 164?
Yes, ma.
164.
That is hypothetical. I'm the one that formed it.
Okay.
That means hypothetical. So now let's go.
On my way.
Ma, please, I still have a question. My name is Amina.
Thanks.
What's your question?
My question is, at any time this timetable appear, one must use this utility to, one must use total utility to subtract from marginal utility.
Ask your question again.
Anytime this timetable appears, one must use total utility to subtract from marginal utility.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma.
I'm trying to look at those in YouTube that to see what they are doing is like they are tampering with this thing. Thank you. Good morning, class. You know, once you enter the room, you are to meet your phone. You don't do that. Okay, Sherry Tijani, what's your question?
Good morning, ma'am. To ask, how do we get the total utility?
I said it that is a hypothetical. I did it. If it is during the exam, you'll be given, so then you'll be able to do it. The total utility will be given to you. The total utility will be given to you, so you have to calculate. Please
thank you,
your microphone.
Good morning, ma. Sorry. Another question I have, based on what you just said, during exam, it will be given to you, the total utility will be given to us. So is it going to be given to, like, if it is given to us without the marginal utility, only total utility and quantity, how do we find the marginal utility?
Did I not do it for you? I did I did three examples.
Okay.
Please mute your mic. Let her talk. You will hear her.
I'm doing the needful. Thank you, Khadija. So let's come to this. So let me repeat it again. Total utility will be given to you. So you are now to get marginal utility from here, 164 minus 85, you get this. Now look at this one, 476 minus 449, you get 27. Are you getting me now? So that is how to get it. Now, for instance, if I give you, pay attention and look at where my cursor is. If I give you marginal utility for number 185, number 289, and I did not give you this one, how do you think you can get this one? To get this one now is to add 85 plus 79, you will get this. Now, for instance, if this one, if I did not give you this one, and then I'm asking you maybe this, sorry. Now, let's come back to this one. If I did not give you this one, but you have 85 and 79, what you need to do is to add these two, and then you get this one. Is that okay? So that's how to get it. Now, this is just the diagram. Total utility slopes upward from left to from left to right, you see now, total is increasing. But marginal decreases. Now pay attention. When total utility is at maximum, marginal utility is 0. I want you to pay attention. When total utility is at maximum, you can see here now, that is a 500. What is marginal utility? Marginal utility is 0. That's what I want you to know about it. As total utility is increasing, marginal utility will be decreasing. When total utility gets to the maximum point, to the maximum level, marginal utility will be 0. Now, we want to look at the differences now. You can get it from here because we still have we have not gotten to the other one. So let's go to the next slide. You know, we have 2 types of okay, this one also is the difference between total utility and marginal utility. You can see now, total utility increases, gets to the maximum point, but marginal utility decreases. When total utility is at the maximum, MCQ question, marginal utility is what? Is 0. And when total utility is declining, is decreasing, what happened to marginal utility? Marginal utility becomes 0. Okay, ask question about this diagram. Total utility is increasing, marginal utility is decreasing. When total utility gets to the maximum point, marginal utility is 0. When total utility starts to decline, marginal utility is negative. Any question on that? Is there any question on that?
Yes, ma. I don't really understand this diagram.
What's it that you don't know? You don't understand? Can't you see my cursor now? Can't you see that total utility is increasing? It's increasing. Gets to the maximum point. After the maximum, it declines. It starts to decrease. Marginal utility is decreasing. Gets to the maximum, gets to 0, and then becomes negative. Let's go to the next, the previous. Look at it now. Total utility is decreasing. Marginal utility, total utility is increasing. Marginal utility is decreasing. It is what we get there. That is what is fixed here. It is in your year 2 that you may be asked to draw this one, but this calculation may be for you in CBT, but nobody will ask you to draw here. But maybe in your, what do you call it now? The one that your e-tutor will do for you, you may be asked to do this. So is it clear now? Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It means that
ma'am.
when marginal utility becomes negative, it means that you are dissatisfied. So you may be vomiting. Khadija that likes Coca-Cola. So when you get to the point of satiety, now look at it, CBT question. Point of satiety. Point of satiety is when total utility is maximum and marginal utility is 0. So you are satisfied. So even if I'm giving it to you that I am the seller of Coca-Cola, Khadija, I said that just take it, don't pay. When you take extra, what will happen is that you'll be vomiting because you are dissatisfied. Hello, are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
So we want to look at the second approach. The second approach is what we call ordinal approach. Ordinal approach. So
good morning, ma. Please, may I have a question?
Who are you? What's your
name? Ma.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, ask your question.
Good morning.
Okay, ma. About the diagram you showed us, you were explaining something about the calculation. You said once we calculate 164 plus minus 85, it should give us 79. So from my calculation here, I want to get the 449. So I calculated, I find out that 49 plus 39 can't give us 449. So I tried to do some balances there. I went to calculate 410 plus 39, which was not the way you told us that we are going to calculate it. That's from the first explanation, the one at the top. That's the 39 plus the 85 plus 79. Are you there, ma?
Yes.
So
yes.
I tried to calculate 449 plus 410.
No.
Yes.
You
So
cannot
yes.
have 449 plus 410. Okay, what you mean is that 449 minus 410.
Yes, ma.
Is it not 39?
It's 39, but I want to get the 449. So when I try to calculate 49 plus 39, it's not giving me 449.
No.
So I did.
No, this wait, is this first one. You know,
Yes.
I told you it's hypothetical. It's not real. Do you understand? If for the sake of exam, you will be
Okay.
given the one that it is real. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Okay, ma'am.
You
Yes, ma'am, I understand now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, we are looking at the second approach, ordinal approach. This approach assumes that utility is not measurable. You know, cardinal utility assume that utility is measurable, but the ordinal utility say that no, you cannot measure utility. And the person that propounded that theory is Francis Edgeworth. He was born in 1849 and died in 1926. So the CB question now is that who propounded ordinal approach? Francis Edgeworth. So, and this man now introduced another concept, which is known as indifference curve. Indifference curve. Indifference curves now, all the cardinal utility deals with this calculation, whatever, but we have known that it's not possible. But all the ordinal utility with the concept of indifferent curve now rank combines two goods together. Now, the indifferent curve shows the combination of good that can yield equal satisfaction, among which the consumer is indifferent. When we say that somebody is indifferent, it means that it doesn't matter. And will you follow me to Owambe today? I'm indifferent. That is, I can either go or I don't go. Do you understand now? So let's look at the concept of indifference curve. Number one, rationality. Other things being equal, the consumer prefer more of one product to less of that same product. It means that Khadija that likes Coca-Cola prefer to consume more of Coca-Cola than less. That is rational. That one is real. Then consistency. It means consistent means that in your behavior you are consistent. If Khadija is consuming Coca-Cola, she will continue to be consuming Coca-Cola. If you now go and bring a Pepsi, she may say, no, I don't want Pepsi. I will continue to be consuming Coca-Cola. It therefore means that consistently she will be consuming Coca-Cola. She may not even want to consume La Casera. So those are the assumptions of the indifferent curve. So characteristics. So, Rosie, what's your question? Please, if you don't have question, lower your hand. We don't have the luxury of time. Rosie, what's your question?
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Ma, based on that calculation that we have on total utility and cardinal utility, I just want to ask on the chart, if you can bring it back, like if we have an answer on the chart of the total utility and there is a dash in between the cardinal utility, how are we to get, like, if we are subtracting or taking back to get the answer? For example, if we have a dash and have an answer on the total utility, how are we going to get the answer that is supposed to be?
I've explained it once. Shisoma, Ihuoma, what's your question?
Okay, good morning, ma. Thank you. I just wanted to know.
I'm going to send the recording to you, and then
Yes.
also the slide. By the time you get it, you understand better. Okay,
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. I wanted to know the variables that you used in getting the graph. Is it price and quantity?
Is there any price in the diagram?
No.
Thank you. Olamilekan.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. Yeah, concerning the diagram that you posted, that point of circle, I need you were explaining it before, so I didn't catch it very well, ma'am. So that point of circle, that diagram, I just want to make it to explain it more.
Point of satiety. Point of satiety is like when total utility is at the maximum point, marginal utility is 0. So this is the point where you don't want again. Even if I'm given Khadija so that I just be drinking Coca-Cola, don't pay. She will be vomiting. I don't want again. So that's the meaning of point of satiety.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm not pressing it. I'm not pressing. I'm not sitting down.
You know, if I say I will not release the recording, I'm justified because of those that are immature. How many times I'm not going to release the recording? How many times have I told you? So, under the cardinal approach, Yusuf Mata, what's your question? Okay, there are some concept we need to know under the.
Good morning, ma. Please, may I have a question, ma?
What's your question?
Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma. It's about the calculation. Is that marginal utility? The way I solve my own is like 85 plus 85 doesn't give us anything. 164 minus 85 is 79. 164 minus 237 is 7. It gives us 73, which is our marginal utility. I wanted to know if I solve it right, like if I get it right now.
What you are saying now is that that my calculation is not correct.
It's correct. Like I use a calculator to solve my own and I get it. I get it right.
So if my own calculation is not correct, so maybe your own is the one that is correct.
No, your own is correct. I use your own.
Then what are you asking? What's the question again?
If I get it right.
Good morning, ma. Good morning, ma.
Hello.
Just mute your mic. She will talk when she's opportune to.
It's okay now. She guys just dey ask question.
Hello. Please, you push allow to me this lecture now. I think it's after lecture you start asking questions.
Like he said, everybody should get their questions ready. After the lectures, you ask the lecturer a question. You guys are
Yes.
supporting the lecturer. Please, we are not children here. Get your questions ready. Write them in a note. After the lectures, you ask the lecturer a question. When you assure the lecturer, it also affects the lecturer.
Okay. Thank you. I know what I will do.
Please, ma, continue. Continue, ma, please. Don't allow all these distractions.
You can see now, when I say that, nobody is interested in your video where you are. Look at this one now, not properly dressed and showing her video. I'm not releasing the recording, no. It's like you don't know why you are in school. You are just JJC. So go and ask those maybe in those in a 200 level. They will tell you what it means to be in school. Who is interested where you are? When you see me that I'm quiet, I'm doing something reasonable. I'm removing the disobedience. Yes, I'm removing them from my class. So let's look at indifference map. Indifference map is a set of indifferent curves. What it means, we are considering the ordinal approach. Ordinal approach says that you cannot measure utility, which is good in real life. Can I now take Adija to econometry lab to go and be, you have been consuming Coca-Cola. Let me see the satisfaction you derive. So that's why ordinal approach comes in. Then when you have more than indifference curve, we call it indifference map. Indifference map. Then budget constraint. I want to believe you are seeing my cursor. Budget constraint. What's the meaning of budget? It means the money you have at hand. You have at hand. Though Khadija loves Coca-Cola, but she can only consume based on the money she has at hand. It's like a bottle of Coca-Cola is 500 naira. So if Khadija has only 1,000, it means that she cannot consume more than 2 bottles. So that's the meaning of a budget constraint. It therefore means that for Khadija to consume with the only 1,000 she has, and she's interested in buying 2 goods, she likes Coca-Cola and at the same time she likes Gala. So she can only consume what 1,000 can buy. If 1,000 naira can only buy 1 bottle of Coke and maybe 2 or 1.5 pieces of a Gala, that's the meaning of budget constraint. That is, if you do not have money, it means that you cannot consume. So that's where this one now. So this price of first time says this is Coca-Cola plus price of of gala equals 1. That's the meaning of a budget constraint. And this one now may be likely a CBT question. But nobody, as I told you, the only thing you can do, I will not ask you to be doing the YDS, is above your level. So let's move forward. Okay. Now, okay, we pass this one. Okay. So we want to look at indifference curve and budget line. Now look at my cursor. This one is the budget line. The budget line, that is the 1,000 naira that the Khadija has. So a budget line is like an indifference curve. It's like an indifference curve. So then this is a indifference curve. You know, this one is curve. It's not a, you cannot use, in economics when you are drawing curve, use your hand. It's your hand that you will use to draw, not ruler. When we say something is curve, you see now that it is not straightforward. It is not a straight line, but this one is a straight line. CBT question now, an indifference curve is a straight line. It's a horizontal line. It's slow from left to right. The answer is that it's slow from left to right. It's not a straight line. So, and when you now put this budget line and it touches indifference curve, so that is where we have a consumer equilibrium. So an indifference curve shows combination of two goods that yield equal satisfaction. Combination of two goods that yield equal satisfaction. Now, to Khadija, if she consumes cola, the satisfaction she gets from the consumption of Coca-Cola is the same thing as the consumption she gets from that of a gala. So this is consumer equilibrium. Can you see consumer equilibrium? This is a budget line. Budget line. Well, in economy, when we say something is tangential, that is, it means it touches. So a budget line now is tangential to an indifference curve at this point, this arrow. So this arrow now is where we say we have consumer equilibrium. So a consumer equilibrium is a point where an indifference curve is equal, tangential, touches an indifference curve. Thank you. Ask your question. We have only one 1 minute. Yes?
Hello, ma'am. My name is Amina.
Raise your hand. Yes. Who is asking question?
Hey, ma, this is trying to turn off her video. Oh.
The on video now.
Okay.
Good morning, ma. Good morning, ma. Please, I have a question, ma.
Only you come to your question. Jesus. Hey.